I'm Rob Holmes from Vinegar Creative. We're a branding, design and digital agency based in Teddington. We specialise in helping people with their branding and make sure their branding looks good throughout all their marketing, whether that's brochures, leaflets, exhibition stands, and of course their website. Probably 60% of our business is on websites. We build a range of sites for clients, whether it's e-commerce sites or brochure site, or sometimes just a simple one-page site. But we create beautiful sites to help people win, turn visitors to customers. With any sort of thing we do, it's always about the design and the client's vision. I sit down with our clients and work out what is it they want to try and to achieve. What's their end goal? What does that look like? And try and get really under the skin of the business, really working with our clients. When they come to us, we always ask them what's their why, what's their reason for doing what they're doing. And it's really important to us to understand what someone's about, what gets them up in the morning, what gets them to, wanting to do what they want to do. So we really focus on their why. How do they help others? What's their goals or their targets? Or what's who they're talking to, and that's all brand. What's their brand messaging? What is their brand messaging? And even if they don't know, it's about finding out what their end goal is. What they're hoping to achieve, and then coming back and working out maybe their brand messaging from that. When you're talking to an audience, whether it's in a brochure or on a website or anyone, it's all about story. People. If you're trying to relate to customers or clients, they'll understand stories. So having a good brand just helps build trust and credibility. It makes you stand out. It shows what's different from you to your competitors. What makes you memorable. And it also, I think, when you're putting that brand into a website, it guides the user through your website. It helps you have different action points. I do a thing called the caveman test. So when you build a website, it's like if you showed your website to a caveman, would they know what you're offering? How does it make their life better? What is it your product or what you're doing makes their life better? And what do you want them to do? So you might build a website, but do you want this person to click a form? How do you want them to sign up? Do you want them to pay for something? It's really important so your customer understands the problem you're solving and how they, don't be afraid to ask for the sale. Really, get people to click that button. And a good example of that, we worked with a company called Rules. We just launched Rules, which is a charity, launched their website. We sat a lot of time with them, working out their vision, working out all the amazing things they do, the different lives they're changing for people locally in our community, and how putting that through on the website, that's what makes people, and then asking for the donation. Don't be afraid, because people are seeing all this amazing work you're doing. Whenever we work with any client, we always ask them to sort of come up with an avatar. Who is it you're talking to? It's much easier when you build a website to talk to one or two people. I know people may say they want to work with everyone and anyone's a good referral, but actually if you hone it down and you're speaking to a certain person, it helps you with any branding. We're building the community, we're driving engagement. It's good for your tone of voice, because you know who you're talking to, you know who your target market is and who the person you're trying to chat to. An example of this was I started working, actually funny enough, with a videographer, and I said, what's a good referral for you? And he said, well, anyone. I make videos, I could do a video for anyone. I said, I get that, but there must be an area you've got a lot more experience in. He said, well, yeah, we do quite a bit with the travel industry. So I said, perfect, let's focus on that. So let's become sort of the, so he went to all the expos, he went to different conferences, and he got to know lots of different people in that sector, and sort of became a key person of influence for the travel sector, for doing videos. Now he's got more work, he's actually turning work away. Sometimes specialising in a certain sector can actually give you more business than saying, we do videos for everyone. One thing we do is called our one-page wonders. So it's a simple, basic website that's just one page. It's very affordable. I think it starts at $4.99. So yes, obviously it's more expensive than free, but it's actually quite an affordable site to have, and it obviously gives you some sort of website presence. I also do things like subscription services. So we'll build you, which I call website in a box, which is we build you a website that you pay on a monthly basis. Again, starting I think £99 per month. So that's a full site, which you could, price goes up depending on what you have, but it could be e-commerce, it could be a brochure site, different sort of things. So we have a lot of different ways of helping people, afford their sites. Obviously, we can't beat the price of free, but often things that are free involve a lot of work and a lot of time on your side. When working with an agency, you take that stress and strain and may get a better product at the end of it. We also do a thing called Story Brand, which is a website based on creating a story. So you take the user on a journey. The idea is you turn visitors into customers and making them sort of the journey through the website, and they sort of buy into what you're saying. So we have a few different offers there to help people out. The best sort of clients for us are ones that actually care about what they do. They're really passionate about it, because we're passionate about what we do, and we want to work in partnership with clients that have the same passion as us. So clients who really care, they do a really good service, they keep their clients really happy, and then obviously we're happy to return the favour and keep them happy. We know they're doing good work, and it shows. Come to our website or give us a call, fill in a form, get in touch with us, and then we normally would meet for sort of discovery session or have a one-to-one, whether it's over Zoom or Teams or in person. A lot of our clients are local. We work with quite a lot of local businesses, so in that case it's always nice to meet someone in real life, and sit down, talk to them, find out what they're wanting to achieve, make sure there's chemistry between working with someone, if I'm right for them, if they're right for us, and sort of make sure they're a good fit. I say to anyone, reach out and let's sort of see what we can do, see how we can work together.